Gigi, when you look at this season for yourself and from a team standpoint, like what stands out is how you dissect what happened.
Um, um, Definitely a lot of ups and downs, but I definitely feel like from the young guys' standpoint, we kind of kept our head on the straight and narrow, especially me when I got back from the G League, and I feel like that just shows the resilience that this group has, especially with the young guys. How we're willing to go through trials and tribulations to ultimately see our goals through and make this team better.
Obviously 2 years ago down the stretch, you had a lot of opportunity, you put up numbers, and you said, looking back on it, you came out of that year thinking you were, the hottest thing on the block, and that no one could say anything to you. And then you were humbled, and then you've since, like you talked about, bounced back. How much different does it feel going into this off season compared to 2 years ago? Just where your game is at, and how you put up that production, and how it fits into a team context, and all that, and your mentality for that matter as well.
Um, uh, I don't want to put too much pressure on myself for this off season, even though I know like that the work and the leap in my game definitely has to take a different stride and whatnot. Um, but I feel like especially this year was in my opinion the last straw of me, like getting on the bad side of other people and different things like that, putting myself in very compromising positions, and ultimately taken away from what I can do on the court. But I feel like I'm in a better spot now, not only with myself, but with everybody in the organization. They believe in me. I still have extreme expectations for myself just as a competitor. But I know it's a lot of work to be done, and I'm ready to get to it.
I don't know if anyone's been asked this going into their fourth NBA season before, but are you looking forward to next season likely not being the youngest player on the team?
I'm not gonna lie, no. But Jaren told me when I first got my tattoos, he said, "All right, now like, that might be the last straw to where they just start holding you accountable to every little detail." But I'm fine with whatever comes. But I feel like I'll still be like second or third youngest on the team and whatnot.
Surely whoever they draft is going to be younger than you.
Yeah, but I still be trying to call Javon and Jemai rookies, but last time I called Jemai rookie, kind of snatched me up. So they definitely still treat me like the youngest.
Terry.
You said, I think, at start of the season interviews that Tomas told you that he was going to coach you harder than you had ever been coached in your life. Now that you have a season of that under your belt, how would you reflect on it, and how it has helped your development overall?
Um, I'll compare that to my high school coach, Yerrick Stolman, um, legend in South Carolina, by the way. And how even though like was the forefront for everything in high school, he held me accountable with everything, whether it be in the classroom or not being professional, even at that young age, coming in late or something like that. And I can definitely see a lot of those similarities with Coach Tomas, because both of those guys are they're wizards when it comes to basketball knowledge. And but one thing I feel like Coach Tomas has an edge on a lot of coaches is he's a former player, and he played at a professional level. And even when he coached overseas, he's shown that he's very capable of winning. And I definitely feel like he's brought this mentality here, not only with the organization but individually with me. Um, and I feel like I'm able to respond well to any kind of coaching, but he was not playing for sure. And I feel like we definitely started to develop a very very close relationship, and I'm looking forward to diving more into that.
I don't know if anyone's been asked this going into their fourth NBA season before, but are you looking forward to next season likely not being the youngest player on the team?
I'm not gonna lie, no. But Jaren told me when I first got my tattoos, he said, "All right, now like, that might be the last straw to where they just start holding you accountable to every little detail." But I'm fine with whatever comes. But I feel like I'll still be like second or third youngest on the team and whatnot.
Surely whoever they draft is going to be younger than you.
Yeah, but I still be trying to call Javon and Jemai rookies, but last time I called Jemai rookie, kind of snatched me up. So they definitely still treat me like the youngest.
is your plans to continue the success over the summer? So what's your just generic plans just to stay healthy and improve at the same time?
I know I want to try to add at least like 5 more pounds, but I know it'll take a little bit to see if I can, keep my speed and how I'm able to move and whatnot. Definitely conditioning, and really, I want to try to get into like reaction-based stuff, because I feel like that was a low-hanging fruit for me on the defensive end. Like the ball will be out of their hands, and like then I'm reacting as regards to when the ball is going, reacting. So just trying to, and overall with the rest of my game, just fine tuning everything, and trying to step into a more vocal role. How Cedric is now, just being someone that can back him up, and whether it's late game situations or just naturally in the huddle, and catch and shoots. Yeah, catch and shoot things. Yeah.
Gigi, how, I guess, invested will you be this summer in just what happens with things like the draft and whatnot? Like, obviously, the people above you make those decisions, but, maybe as a fan or just a player on the team, how much do you pay attention to that stuff, like the prospects or who you could potentially add to the team before it even happens?
I feel like those hoopers who say they don't pay attention, they're not necessarily like lying, but I feel like it's only as far as like they're not watching the games, but they definitely know who the dogs that are coming in are, especially me. I try not to look too much into it, but I acknowledge their talent for sure. But I'll kind of compare it to how I was coming in, highly recruited, whatnot, all these different things, and how I thought it was going to be sweet here in the league, and ultimately having to prove myself. I definitely feel like these guys coming in are definitely capable of proving themselves early, especially. And I started to, follow a couple of the guys. I've known Peterson for a little minute. Kind of got close with AJ, and Keaton. I don't know. Yeah, I texted him the other day when he followed me back. I was like, holy shit! Like, he didn't follow me. And try to, give him a boost of encouragement, different things like that. But yeah, they gonna have to earn it just like I gotta earn it. So definitely gonna be some great hard fought battles next year.
Hey Gigi, you kind of just talked about South Carolina there. I want to go back to draft night when you had a list of guys that had made it to this stage inside of your Kojak, and John Moran being one of those guys. So since that day of you arriving here in Memphis and building that relationship with Jai as his teammate to now, and how has that kind of helped you grow as a player and just a person, whether you're playing or he's not playing, or how has that just relationship grown?
He's taken me under his wing for sure since I've gotten here. He was the first person to call me when I got drafted, and just being able to watch him. Obviously, the on the court things are fantastic anytime he's playing, especially when we're on the practice court. Just some of the things that I've personally never seen from a player before. Either a certain pass or a crazy dunk or anything, but. Even with everything that has transpired, he's still shows a level of professionalism that is very impressive, and it shows why the greats are the greats and why the all stars are the all stars. How they're able to handle so much adversity and then come back stronger every time. And I feel like I've been trying to take some of those things as far as when I'm down or when I'm not where I want to be, just trying to come back as strong as possible. And yeah, he's been very vocal with me through this entire process, especially my 3 years here. He's there when I'm getting in trouble. He's there when I'm having the big performances and whatnot. So he's definitely been a huge helping hand in my development here.